Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
It was the Conservatives' secret weapon at the last general election, a fleet of coaches carrying activists to key marginal seats to make the party's case on the doorstep. That so-called battle bus campaign is now under investigation after allegations that Conservative candidates may have broken election law by failing to declare the costs on their local spending returns. The party, including the former Prime Minister David Cameron, have repeatedly claimed the spending was national and not local. But tonight, two Tory whistleblowers cast doubt on that. They insist the campaigning was local and claim the party is now engaged in a cover-up. Tonight, they've taken their claims to the police. Michael Crick has this exclusive report.
I'm on the bus.
I'm on the bus.
I'm on the bus.
I'm on the bus.
Also on the bus, joining dozens of other Conservative volunteers in the 2015 campaign, were this couple from Shropshire. Greg and Louise Kinsell were then huge fans of David Cameron and keen to see the Conservatives back in power with a majority. But for months now, since our story broke, they've been troubled by the thought that in their work touring target seats in a battle bus, they may unknowingly have been involved in breaking the law. So today, they approached the police and the Electoral Commission.
I feel like there's been a betrayal.
Yeah, we
were unwitting participants in a huge betrayal.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel.
We've taken part in their cheating. That's not
And
on.
that's not on.
By law, money spent promoting a local candidate in any seat counts as part of that candidate's local spending, which is capped legally at about £15,000 over the 6 weeks or so of the campaign. The Conservatives insist that the tens of thousands they spent on the battle bus operation in 2015 was national spending, not local, spent promoting the Conservatives and David Cameron in general. But tonight, these two Tory whistleblowers, Greg and Louise Kinsell, blow that claim apart and suggest the party could have broken election law on a huge scale. Worse still, they allege the party's now engaged in a cover-up.
When you hear that they're saying that we went down and we were just giving the central government message. No, we weren't. I'm not going to lie about that. No, we weren't. This wasn't we were saying the Conservatives are going to do this. This MP wants to do this for you. So they're telling lies about what we did.
A year ago, this programme first revealed how the Conservatives deployed a fleet of battle buses in 2015 to ferry party volunteers to battleground seats, spending tens of thousands of pounds on hotels. From Cornwall to Lancashire, we named 27 elected MPs aided by a battle bus visit. MPs with small majorities whose local campaign budgets pushed close to the legal spending caps, but didn't include battle bus bills. We reported specifically on a 5-day battle bus tour of seats in the West Country, which, it so happens, was the very trip that this couple joined. 6 days before polling, the Kinsells joined other Tory volunteers in Taunton, where they all stayed at a travelodge. The battle bus then drove north to help the sitting MP Neil Carmichael in Stroud. Next stop, Plymouth, staying overnight at Jury's Inn to campaign for Oliver Colville in the Sutton and Devonport seat. Then the bus thrust west to support Derek Thomas in St Ives, and finally Scott Mann in the North Cornwall seat, and they stayed at the nearby Eden Project.
Well, I think that, yes.
And before each stop, they were briefed all about the candidate.
We were given a rundown on Neil Carmichael, who was the potential candidate for Stroud area. So we were told about him, background, concerns of the residents in the area, what the general vibe was, what Stroud was going to be concerned about, sort of supermarket being built or whatever it was. I suppose in a way we were like the
hit squad.
Yeah, I think that even that phrase was used. We were like the hit squad coming round, going to targeted areas on behalf of that MP, so on behalf of Neil Carmichael. It was a marginal seat, and we were really fired up.
It was a similar story all the way to North Cornwall, which the battle bus visited on the last day, after Tory HQ in London suddenly seemed to decide the candidate Scott Mann had a good chance of beating the sitting Lib Dem.
But the last day, you were out the whole of the afternoon with Scott Mann.
Oh, yeah.
They were like a double act. They were in shops. I mean, it was hysterical to watch them. But you were going around introducing him as their candidate. Vote for him, he's handsome, he's everything going for him.
He's the new Poldark.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the Poldark series was on then, so Scott Mann looks a little bit like Poldark.
That testimony from the Kinsells about helping Scott Mann, Neil Carmichael and other named candidates is crucial. If true, it means the money spent on Battle Bus should be divided between the candidates' own local spending returns. And it wasn't primarily a national effort, as top Tories have said ever since we first raised this issue.
Lots of political parties have these bus tours, buses that go round different constituencies, and that is a national expense.
So they're saying it's a national campaign, that it was us knocking on the doors in terms of, hello, we're from the Conservatives, we're nothing to do with the local candidate. Is that what they're saying?
That's utter rubbish.
Because that's not true at all. We were definitely canvassing for the MP.
That is 100% untrue.
That's a complete travesty.
I'll swear on anything.
The Kinsells are no longer Conservative members. They say David Cameron let them down when he resigned after the Brexit vote. What puzzles them is how many of the pictures which other Battle Bus volunteers put on social media at the time have now mysteriously been removed.
The people we knew who were on the Battle Bus, who are big activists, funny, they seem to have forgotten about us, but they've deleted their photographs, you see, which is they've forgotten about us, which was a bit of a mistake, because we were there.
And the Kinsells account is corroborated by hotel bills disclosed to us, which cover the West Country trip. We now know the Tories booked the whole Battle Bus group for 5 nights in Taunton and paid up front, but then doubled up with 4 nights at other hotels further west. A very expensive operation. But the Kinsells say Battle Bus may have changed history.
We went down and worked for individual candidates who then won their seat. If they hadn't won their seat, the Conservatives may not have won the election. So when you look at it in that perspective and realise we were part of that, and we were duped into being part of that, and they're saying it was part of a central government fund, that is utter, total fabrication. We worked for the local candidates and MPs to ensure that they won that seat, and we were sent wherever they thought we could help. And indeed, we weren't the only bus. There was another one as well.
The Conservative Party told us tonight simply, we are cooperating with the ongoing investigations. None of the 4 MPs we've mentioned have chosen to comment.
Michael Cricken. Michael joins me now. Michael, you've worked on this for many months. What's the latest?
Well, the Kinsells, who you saw in that film just there, today contacted Devon and Cornwall police, who were very interested to hear their story, and they've arranged to go and interview the Kinsells at their home in Shropshire on Tuesday. The Kinsells have also contacted the Electoral Commission. We're expecting a report from the Electoral Commission on all the allegations that we've been making over the last year. We're expecting, it's the biggest investigation we've ever done, by the way. We're expecting a report shortly, possibly as early as next week. Now, as you can imagine, that's causing huge consternation both at Conservative HQ, but also in Downing Street, as if Theresa May hadn't got enough problems to deal with right now. In particular, they're very worried about what might happen in South Thanet, which of course is the seat where the Conservatives put in a massive effort to defeat the then UKIP leader Nigel Farage. We reported on that last week. Now I can tell you that the Kent police who've been investigating South Thanet are holding a meeting with the Crown Prosecution Service to discuss the future of that case on the 21st of March. Now, we know of police forces in at least a dozen other areas have been investigating some of the 24 or so other MPs that we've reported on. We're not quite clear of just how many of those are serious investigations. Certainly the Conservatives seem to be worried in about 5 or 6 cases. But at the same time, one MP, David Morris, the MP for Morecambe and Lunesdale, has been telling people in the past few days that he's been told he's off the hook.
Michael Crick.